Hello guys, Greg Alba here. This is Evan Dollard. Evan the Dollard. Evan D. Allard.
It's just Evan
We're
Dollard.
done with that.
It's
Okay,
just Evan Dollard.
It's Evan Dollard. All right. So, we're going to do today, because holidays are coming up, and I know people like to watch a funny film around the holidays. We're going to do our top 5 favorite comedies. These might not be your favorite comedies. I get it. And sometimes my list changes. Right now I have this 5 through 1 list, but you know, sometimes what's number 5 might be number 1, depending on my feelings.
Depending on the week and depending on the mood. Like
Exactly.
this list fluctuates for me.
Exactly.
So there's loads of good comedies out there. And it depends what kind of mood you're in. Is
Right.
it a stupid comedy? Is it an action comedy?
And comedy is very much subjective.
It is.
Like all kind of genres out there, comedy is especially subjective. So I'll kick this off. My number 5 is Dumb and Dumber. In terms of stupid comedies, this is one of the more clever ones to me. I think it's one of those clever, dumb comedies. I like it when they can do something where people are very stupid, but there's something kind of witty about the way it's being executed. And I really just think like a lot of the bits are so fucking memorable. You know, mock. Yeah. Like the suits that they wear. Jim Carrey was hilarious in it.
Stupid comedy is not my favorite type of comedy. I like a shtick, but that was a little too stupid.
Extreme.
A little too extreme.
Yeah.
However, to your point, very memorable. It's a comedic classic, and there's something to be said about something that can influence, culturally have such an influence that it does.
And it's like a lot of gross out humor that I was like, it surprisingly doesn't cross the line into R-rated territory. Well, there's some pretty gross gags in there.
Very true.
When he has like diarrhea on the toilet. Oh my God. I don't know. I thought Jim Carrey was fucking hysterical in that. And growing up in the 90s, I felt like Jim Carrey was truly the comedian of my era. Anyway, what was your number 5?
Number 5, I have I Love You, Man.
It's on my list coming up soon.
Oh, spoiler alert.
Spoiler. Yeah, I love you. Please tell me why you love it.
I love Paul Rudd. Mm-hmm. He's a great everyman, where he's not classically handsome, but he's conventionally, attractive. But he's just funny, and I believe the relationship between him and Rashida Jones. And I like the idea of a guy that's so invested in love that he neglects having male relationships.
Yeah.
So someone trying to navigate a relationship with a very just your stock man like Jason Segel, where they're open to talking about everything. I think he has a masturbation station. He's got the man cave. And he essentially teaches Paul Rudd how to be friends with other guys. And it was very refreshing for me to watch that. And it made me laugh out loud a lot.
I thought that movie had a great balance of heightened reality mixed with just reality.
Yeah.
I felt like it never crossed too far into ridiculous territory. Sometimes it got a little ridiculous, like with Lou Ferrigno and all that shit. But other than that, it still stayed pretty grounded, Elmo voice guy. It was mainly the chemistry between Jason Segel and Paul Rudd that I just really loved. There's a lot of bromance films that have been coming out in the past decade or so. I'm not gonna lie, I teared up at the end scene when they said "I love you, man."
Just like a single tear.
I was like, man, I know what it's like to have that bro love. My number 4 is Knocked Up. Knocked Up, surprisingly, when I saw Knocked Up the first time, I didn't like it. I thought it was annoying as fuck the first time I saw it. But I realized I was like into this chick at the time, and she was like sitting next to this guy I didn't like, and they were laughing, so I was just distracted by that. So when I saw it years later, I really enjoyed the film. I've been through heavy stoner periods in my life, and I enjoyed that comedy because it was so vulgar and it was so raunchy, but it had this incredible blend of magical heart. Like, you see this guy go on this journey of lazy, unproductive stoner running a nude site to being a dedicated, I'm gonna commit to this by the end, being a loyal father, and you really see him grow. And I like seeing the mismatched personalities really it felt very fluid, it felt very natural, and it's hysterical, and it's moving. I really enjoyed that film, and I thought the whole supporting cast was great too.
Supporting cast was incredible. It was cool to see, as you said, the growth of the character.
Yeah.
You're looking at Dumb and Dumber. You're one before
really
that.
Growing.
There's not a lot of growth.
No.
But you can see, again, it's this guy who he's stuck in this way, and nothing turns your life around faster, I imagine.
Yeah.
Than being responsible for a child. And he steps up to the challenge.
Yeah, it's great because he doesn't abandon his friends, but you see by the end of the film that he does decide to keep a distance from them because he knows he can't live that lifestyle anymore.
Right.
But I like that balance of not I can't be friends with you anymore, but I just got to keep, some space in order to do it. I thought it was very well done, and I still think it honored all the raunchiness with still keeping it it's like a weird raunchy family film. Like a weird way. Yeah. So what's your number 4, Mr. Evan Dollard?
Number 4, Neighbors.
Oh, Neighbors! I forgot about Neighbors. That movie was awesome.
My gosh. Zac Efron kills me in that movie.
Hilarious.
I feel like I'm talking a lot about attractiveness, which I don't mean to do, but you can't deny that he's an attractive man.
Yes.
And when someone who fair enough. When someone who's that attractive that can play drama, he can play really those conventional leading man roles.
Yes.
And he just plays this hilarious frat guy that has no idea which way is up.
Yeah.
And gets into this insane conflict with the next door neighbors. And Rose Byrne, I love her so much too.
I really like.
And Seth Rogen, what should be adults getting into this dispute with a fraternity. It's ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was hilarious. Going with Zac Efron on that was the film that I think earned him a lot more respect from everyone. Because before that, he was kind of just a pretty boy.
Yes.
He did High School Musical, and then he was doing these dramas that people were like, Zac Efron. When he did Neighbors, people thought he was so fucking funny that it won a lot of people over with Zac Efron as a whole. Zac Efron was great in that, and I even like the whole cast in it. I think Dave Franco's funny in it. I love their bromance.
My gosh.
The one guy who played Seth Rogen's best friend, he's actually one of the writers of Central Intelligence.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, I know which actor you're talking about. I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah, he's the guy who says the N-word on the phone. Pretending to be Obama. Yeah, there's a lot of really great, memorable bits in that film. And I like the way that film ended, too.
Yeah.
With how they made I feel like Seth Rogen knows how to make films with heart.
Yeah.
You don't see the heart coming. That's what I love about them. You think you're just in for another raunchy, vulgar time, but then there always manages to be a great heart at the end of it.
Comedies with heart, by far my favorite, which you'll see as we get
deeper into the list. My number 3 is another Judd Apatow film, but it's a Will Ferrell film, Anchorman, The Legend of Ron Burgundy.
Ah, yes.
That film, just because of how old I was when that came out, I remember I spent a whole summer, and I saw that film maybe 19 times. It's to the point now where I just can't watch it anymore. Because I watch it and I just know every line, and I'm kind of bored of this. But it's still one of my favorites because it's so unbelievably quotable. That was before Paul Rudd became really big. That was when Steve Carell was who the hell's Steve Carell?
Yeah.
And that's what got Will Ferrell really on the map. So that film was very legendary. And it's cool because, Judd Apatow produced it, but it doesn't feel like a Judd Apatow film. He's just the producer, and it still feels like an Adam McKay, Will Ferrell film.
Yes.
And I thought it was very tightly constructed. I thought it was a great spoof of the 70s. I felt like a lot of its humor was trying to be replicated way after that, and I don't think any of Will Ferrell's comedies quite lived up to that. Although there's films like The Other Guys, which is great. Talladega Nights. Oh, wait a minute. Let's continue this list. That's my number 3.
No, Other Guys is my number 3.
Is it?
But Anchorman was a more or less honorable mention in this list because when I first watched it, it was the hardest I think I'd laughed.
Yeah.
Watching any comedy ever up until that point. The character, Ron Burgundy, is so funny. Yeah. You see bits of it in different characters since then.
Yeah.
It's
always
hard.
That voice.
Always the same voice.
There's Blades of Glory.
There's so much Ron Burgundy, I feel under the surface of the character in Blades of Glory. Gosh, Anchorman was an honorable mention for mine.
And what I love about Anchorman too is that it's called Anchorman: Legend of Ron Burgundy, and you got a great cast in there. Everyone's so hysterical. Paul Rudd has his memorable, 60% of the time it works every time. And Steve Carell had just the standout lines in it were just so ridiculous, but it still managed to make Ron Burgundy the funniest one, that was cool. It's everyone shined in that. Everyone kind of except Champ, but everyone else I thought really shined.
Everyone did. They did. And Steve Carell I feel like that was a real milestone in his career. Because he had been, from my understanding, a comedic actor based out of Chicago doing sketch and improv and maybe Second City. And then I remember watching, what was it, Bruce Almighty.
Yeah, he was in Daily Show, then Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
And then Anchorman. He became known as the news guy.
Yeah. And I remember that scene in Bruce Almighty, obviously Jim Carrey's hysterical, you can't take it away from him, but he's kind of behind the scenes making Steve Carell talk a certain, talk ridiculousness. And I remember thinking, that actor is phenomenal.
Yeah.
Who is that guy? And just falling in love with Steve Carell. So when he finally got that role in Anchorman.
I don't feel like Steve Carell's done stupid comedy as well as he did in Anchorman. Like his Anchorman 2, as much as I wanted to love it, I just couldn't.
Did you ever see it? Anchorman 2? Yeah.
I mean, I tried really liking it. It just felt a little forced. Yeah, I feel like Steve Carell was perfect.
After how many years? 15 years or whatever? It had a lot to live up to.
Yeah, it did. So, anyway, what was your number 3?
Anyway, number 3, The Other Guys.
Other Guy. That's a hilarious film.
Love a good action comedy. This one, every time Mark Wahlberg just rails on Will Ferrell. The pairing is perfect between the two of them. Will Ferrell's so uptight. He loves his spreadsheets. He loves sitting in the office. And Mark Wahlberg needs to get out there and get shit done. One of my favorite movies from that, or favorite scenes from that movie, well, first you meet his wife for the first time.
Yes. Yeah. He's so abusive.
Yeah. Who was it? It was Eva Mendes.
Eva Mendes.
Yeah. Smoking hot.
Yeah.
Mark Wahlberg doesn't know what's going on. Keeps kind of like hitting on her and like asking, no, really, who is this woman? Later in the film, they meet up with one of Will Ferrell's exes. And she's like crazy, but still in love with him, trying to hit on him and like moving his mouth like, I love you, Christina. It's like just insane.
It was a great spoof film. Like, because but it's more than just a spoof of cop films, you know? It's called The Other Guy. So and I love Mark Wahlberg's character of this cop who wants to be a badass cop. Like, he just thinks he's a badass cop, and he's doing, like, whenever something bad happens, he's like, it's the Colombians, and then Will just like, what? Why do you keep saying that? It's not the Colombians. He keeps saying it's something bigger than what it is. I thought their chemistry was amazing. Just even their, like, opening banter, when he's like, if I was a lion, I'd swim out into the ocean. Or something like that.
Correct me if that is an Adam McKay film, correct?
That's an Adam McKay film. It's not a Judd Apatow film produced, but it is Adam McKay.
After watching The Big Short and then looking back at The Other Guys, how you can see part of The Other Guys was it wraps up with that company was too big to fail. Yeah. And you see him trying to weave into these political or social political themes.
Yeah, definitely.
Economical themes. Adam McKay gets to The Big Short. You see, I think, what he's ultimately that's been going on in his brain the whole time. Yeah. He knows how to write stupid comedy. He kind of inserts different themes of seriousness that pertain to the economy and politically. Or Big Short, it's just like, boom! Yeah, this is how you do comedy while addressing the most serious economic issue of our time.
Great character.
And I was just like, got it. Adam McKay is not just a very funny man, he's a genius.
My number 2 is another 90s comedy.
Oh.
This film consistently makes me cry at the end. Consistently.
Oh, goodness.
That's how funny it is. Liar, Liar.
Oh, yes.
I don't know how everyone feels about Liar, Liar to this day, but to me, that's one of my favorite Jim Carrey performances. Like, I feel like when you watch, like, the great Jim Carrey films, like The Mask, Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber, Liar, Liar, people tend to accuse Jim Carrey of always playing the same guy. But when you watch them, you're like, you know what? There are differences between each character. When I see Liar, Liar, that was one of those roles where I was like, only Jim Carrey could have pulled this off. There's no other actor that could have brought that ridiculousness and heart to a character that well. It was a fun parody of, like, being a lawyer, and I thought it was one of those great, like, 90s, you know, like, solid logline plots. A lawyer who can't lie.
Yeah, definitely high concept.
Definitely high concept.
Very funny.
Yeah. Those moments in that film I think it's very touching, and I love his growth as a human being by the end. And it's kind of corny at times, but I felt like it works, you know? Like, I saw that movie when I was really young. There was a lot of kids in the theater when I saw it, and I'm like, there's a lot of adult jokes in that film. It does feel like a family film, because it's still about a father and son. Like, the film's still about a father and his little kid. I think that's a very touching film, and when he tells his kid how much he loves him at the end and how ridiculous he's going just to tell him how much he loves his son on the plane, that just makes me cry. That just gets to my heart. Father-son stuff gets to me.
You got a soft spot there.
I'm more than just muscles.
That's where you and I differ. What you see is what you get.
Good comeback there. Way to play off what I said there.
Number 2. Well, now we're getting into the more, I guess, heartfelt or more serious comedies-ish. 500 Days of Summer. I liked that it was, one, it made me laugh consistently, especially the first time I saw it, and how it was billed as not a love story. Yeah. This is not a love story. And they lived up to it. And the idea of expectation versus reality, and seeing this relationship, all the reasons why you feel like it should work and then it doesn't, and even the way that it was cut together, where you're going back and forth in time. Yeah. Like the number of days during the relationship and ultimately the recovery since then. I don't know, I think any guy that's had their heart broken can watch that film and be like, yes, like your love and hate are so close to each other.
Oh, totally.
And one of my favorite moments, or one of the defining moments in that film for me, was when they went back, showed all the same clips of what he loved about her, and then contrasted it by saying, now I hate all these things. Like, I hate her stupid birthmark.
Yeah.
Or I hate her, whatever it is. It just rang so true.
It's kind of a hard film to watch.
Oh,
it's a weird kind of, like, funny movie that's also, like, I think especially if you're going through a breakup, it's like, it's a hard film to watch.
Oh, yeah, if you're going through a breakup, don't watch that movie.
It's like, as much as you want to relate to the film, you're like, this is, like, too much, man. I really know what's going on here. And the performances are great. I mean, I really feel like Zooey Deschanel, like, really boomed from that film, and Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I felt, really started getting, I mean, he was already on the rise, but I really feel like that was, like, a great two powerful performances in one. And it was like that romantic comedy that's not a romantic comedy. I thought that was very well done. Because, like, I know, like, the breakup tried being that, you know, like, the anti-rom-com.
Oh, yeah.
But this film, I felt, successfully achieved that.
Yeah.
Where it was like, it's still heartfelt, you still love it, but it also breaks your heart at the same time, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, good choice, Evan.
Oh, thank you.
My number 1 is Evan's number 5. I Love You, Man.
Number 1?
That's my number 1. Yeah.
I mean, I love the movie. Explain.
Hey, it's subjective, Evan.
I know that it is. I'm asking. I'm curious.
I Love You, Man. Like, right now for me, I feel like we're in this day and age where guys are being a lot more vulnerable. You know, guys I feel like are less more macho, and like they're willing to put their guard down more and be honest and stuff and relate more. I feel like I see a lot of guys who are willing to go to therapy and all that stuff. So when I see I Love You, Man, that's a movie with like two dudes who are just putting down their walls and are just really like they like love each other and they're bonding, and it shows the importance of friendship. And I love that Rashida Jones was someone who was very supportive. You know, like there's a time where she was being unsupportive, but for the most part, for the most of the film, she's very supportive of, like, you need to have a guy friend. How important that is. Most importantly, I related to that film when that film came out. I remember I had, like, one guy friend who I was very close with, but all my other friends were girls. And I had a girlfriend at that time, so I understood that feeling of, like, I don't really know what it's like to be a dude sometimes. Like, I feel like I'm more of an open, honest, sensitive guy, so I feel like a lot of my friends were females. But to have guy friends, I feel like is a totally different dynamic than when you have a female friend. And I think it's essential for guys to have guy friends.
Yeah, 100%. You're touching on the themes of masculinity, which always is, to me, important and worthwhile discussing. Because there's so many, stereotypes isn't the right word, but perspectives, or what do I want to say here?
I mean, you're saying a lot of synonyms of, like, cliche.
Cliches, yeah. Let's say cliches.
Okay.
But they're lived out is part of the problem. So if you've ever been to, have you ever been to a UFC fight? Like an MMA fight?
Those guys.
Or you go to Buffalo Wild Wings on fight night, and you're just like, testosterone! Punch me! I hate you! Like, it's all bullshit. It really is. And then you have biker gangs. Like, you see all these videos on YouTube where, you're like fronting, and I've got all my guys and we ride bikes together and we're gonna beat your ass. You feel like we need to be a certain way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're overly sensitive, then
you're not man.
Then you're not man enough. Yeah. So where do you find that balance? And I appreciate a movie that can discuss it with humor.
Yeah, exactly.
And you leave watching the movie or leaving the theater thinking about it.
It's a weird film because you're like, I love my best friend. Like when it's done, because you know that moment when they finally say I love you to each other. Like guys don't. Like, girls, I feel like, say it all the time. I notice girls can be like, I love you too. Guys have to say, like, I love you, bro. I love you, man. You know? And I love how they parodied that. I love you, you know, like all the other funny things they were saying. I love you, Jobin. All those weird broski and stuff. Yeah. So, yeah, I thought that was a really cool kind of unique comedy. And Paul Rudd is just amazing in it. That's his most different role to me. If you, like, watch any of, he's usually just sarcastic asshole. He's like sarcastic asshole with a heart.
Yeah. And
this film, he's not that. He's not, but he's hilarious in the film. He's sensitive. He's endearing, you know, like, and Jason Segel's like I thought it was a cool perspective on dudes, and it makes me appreciate my guy friends. Yeah. Love you, Evan.
Oh.
Love you, bro.
Love you, Bropocalypse.
Bropocalypse. What's your number 1 choice?
Number 1, Crazy Stupid Love.
Hey, great film.
Stupid Love.
Great film, hysterical film.
Love that movie to pieces. From Josh Groban's cameo to Steve Carell getting shit-faced, Ryan Gosling approaching him in the bar and taking him under his wing.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling being the one that falls in love with Steve Carell's daughter. The movie is flawless as far as I'm concerned, but it starts in such a dark note, which is Steve Carell's wife cheating on him. And it's like, how you take such a difficult premise to deal with in general, like, that's hard to watch.
Yeah.
And then they turned it into, like, a very funny, moving moment with plenty of those bromance moments between Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling.
Yeah.
Ryan Gosling, flawless, so funny.
I love Steve Carell in that, but I remember everyone really thinking about Ryan Gosling. Because he's done, like, some comedies, like, I know that Lars and the Real Girl was, like, a funny performance, but this was a different kind of comedic role.
That was a weird one.
Yeah, this is a different kind of comedic role, and he was great in it, but I love that movie. I remember when that movie was done, that was final moments where you just see Julianne Moore and Steve Carell laughing and talking with each other and having that hope for them. There was something that was magical about that. And I felt really good. It doesn't end on a note of like, they're definitely getting together, but it ends on a note of like hope. I felt very good about it and like a respect and understanding, and you could see that they at least still loved each other in a certain way. Yeah, and Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone's role comes in late into the film. Man, how magical was their chemistry? It was magical. Like, La La Land's coming out. Watch that film. Best movie I've seen all year. Go watch it.
You saw it in Switzerland?
Yeah, I saw it in Zurich. And that was an amazing, amazing, amazing film. Like,
That's so cool.
if you thought their chemistry was like Great and Crazy Stupid Love, just wait till you watch this film.
Nice.
So yeah, it's funny. Crazy Stupid Love is like the origin of the Emma Stone Ryan Gosling pairing. You know, good choices.
Oh, you good choices.
You good choices.
Yeah. There's two men sitting on a couch making good choices.
All right, rejects. What are your favorite comedies? Isn't that a fun YouTube question?
It's so unique.
Interactive with the audience.
I bet nobody's asked anyone on YouTube ever what their favorite comedy movies are.
After doing a comedy video. If you're new to the channel, subscribe today, become a reject. Evan Dollard is on the social medias of all the social medias. MySpace, Napster.
Those are my two big ones.
Tumblr, yeah. Still actively promoting this. He's on Instagram and YouTube and Twitter. There'll be links in the description box. Go there, find him, and enjoy your holiday season. Plenty to be thankful for.
Agreed.
Like bros.
Bros! I know what I'm thankful for. Oh. That was a nice moment.
That'll be a thumbnail.